The TDS organization signs a peace treaty with Mr. Sinister himself. TDS, now allied with the Halloween forces, gives Mr. Sinister's forces the strong enough edge to push off the Frost invasion. With the victory of Outpost 32, the scientists and its security forces, and most importantly, its research and technology, are safe. After the dust settles and technology is gained for both factions, TDS organization and Mr. Sinister's Halloween army, they then make a strong trading relationship and finally giving the strength to the Halloween army that was defeated all those years ago.
When the Misfits found out that TDS and Mr. Sinister's legendary army teamed up, they went on a rampage attempting to attack Mr. Sinister, but they were caught, sent to the headquarters, then court-martialed, and hanged from the Ranger Monument.
Due to their temporary truce, the TDS organization agreed to give back all Halloween technology, and Mr. Sinister's Halloween army helps patrol the active battlefronts and back roads to the Long 15 and Highway 95.
As Professor V sends out the experiment, the large, tall monster that glows orange is unfortunately defeated. The molten monster saved many lives, but in the end, it gave its life to protect many of its comrades in the battle. With the battle being won, however, TDS troops rally for its support and thankfulness that it was on their side and not the others.
Now with the children of Exo running around, their next move is still unknown, but we know they will be back. Someday. However, with the victory for securing Outpost 32, and with Mr. Sinister's help, we gain new weapon technology and are able to create weapons to switch from using fire, then to ice with a matter of seconds. And with its slow speed, some enemies are able to get by, but the land's still guarded with its little robotic eye.
With the Frost spirit dead, the Frost invasion army falls apart, without no clear guidance and leadership. They were picked off one by one. 3 years ago, during the first invasion, they had no choice in victory, and yet they still failed time and time again.
The commander of the TDS organization would have lost his life if it was not from the fallen haunted knight of Sinister's army, alongside Retro and Plague, Mr. Sinister's top field officer and commander, for being present at the battle. The remnants quickly disappeared as they came, reminding the people why they once feared vertibirds in the sky.
Retro, Sinister's top field officer, led the infantry and heavy war tanks into combat, setting up ambushes and aiding the east side of Outpost 32, quickly changing the favor for TDS and Sinister's army, fighting to each last breath, aiding the TDS troopers. They won the east sector in a matter of minutes, never mind the hours. They celebrate and then move towards the bigger threat, the Frost Spirit himself. Plague, Sinister's top field commander, led the Knights into battle. TD's troops, confused on their weaponry choice of 18th century swords and glowing robes, the Knights and Plague's battle command knowledge quickly turns the tide for the battle. As a knight would fall, a TDS trooper would replace it, forcing the Frost invaders to retreat quickly, striking fear into ice humanoids that already had frozen hearts.
With the victory at Outpost 32, the scientists are really impressed with the remnants of Sinister's forces. Never in their years of studying and researching would they ever fight alongside the undead. But Professor Keene thought to himself, desperate times call for desperate measures. And who knew? He was right.
With Sentinel Remiel caught and found to be a fraud working for Outpost 32, was really behind the attack and invasion. He escapes to unknown areas. The children of Exo continue planning for their next move. They were not expecting Mr. Sinister's army to be there from 3 years ago. Then the army was weaker. Now it's an impressive imperial empire to live for the next few generations.
With the Battle of Outpost 32, The TDS organization lost many troops, thinning their numbers. As the first wave of troopers retreat, Commander Sal and Recon Scout leader McNamara sadly lose their lives, defending their young squires in the crossfire. As the squires retreat and put into safety, the ones who killed the two leaders were killed by TDS Rangers and the Knights of Sinister, redeeming their overall goal, protecting the innocent.
The battle ends. Many lives were lost, but a piece of history was gained, and the remains of Sinister's forces were spared. The TDS organization was also spared the loss of losing out on the technology and research spanning over 5+ years. But everybody was relieved to have the dust settled. Workers of the Outpost 32 charge out, pushing the remaining Frost invaders out, and after that, they clean up the damage, restoring the outpost and building more automated security and thanking Mr. Sinister and the TDS organization for their services. But whenever they say, war never changes. They are right about that, though.